EverWeb's responsive row widget lets you add text, shapes, images, and widgets to a responsive page layout. The width of a responsive page automatically adjusts to the device you are viewing the page on. Widgets, such as the navigation menu widget, can also be full-width objects, and so can be added directly to a responsive page. Some widgets, such as the PayPal widget, are not full-width capable, and so need to be placed into a full-width container to work properly in a responsive web page. The responsive row widget acts as this container. You can add non-full-width objects into the responsive row widget so that they can work properly on any device that they are viewed upon. TextBoxes, shapes, and images can also be added to the responsive row widget. These types of objects can be either used at full width or as non-full width objects. The responsive row widget can only be used in a responsive page layout, so when adding a page to your website, use the responsive option in the Theme Template Chooser's filter to show only responsive theme templates, or choose the blank responsive theme templates homepage style, or alternatively set the page layout field as responsive in the Page Settings tab of the inspector window of an existing page. Now I am going to add a responsive row widget to the page. Use the widget settings if you want to name the responsive row. This is a good idea if you have many responsive row widgets in the page, as it helps organize each section of the page. You will all see the name of the responsive row in the top left-hand corner of the widget, unless you have used the window Hide Layout option. In this example, I am going to call my responsive row Contact Row, as I want people to be able to contact me using EverWeb's Contact Form Advanced widget. I also want to include an image and some text in my Contact responsive row. Begin by drag and dropping the Contact Form Advanced widget onto the responsive row widget. I now want to add a text box with my text in it. When drag and dropping objects such as text, shapes, and images, they may appear as full width if the responsive row has not been selected beforehand. To place an object inside a responsive row widget, secondary click on the object that you want to embed into the responsive row widget. Use the Embed In menu option to select the responsive row that you want to embed the object into. Finally, I will drag and drop my image from the assets list into the responsive row widget. Use the shape options to change the image fill as required. You can rearrange the order of objects in the responsive row by drag and dropping the object you want to move into its new position. To use the responsive row widget settings, just click on the responsive row itself and then go to the Widget Settings button. If other objects cover the responsive row, use secondary click and choose Pick Layer. Select the responsive row that you want to select. With the widget selected, go to the Widget Settings and use the vertical drop-down to align objects to either top, middle, or bottom of the responsive row. Use the horizontal drop-down to left, center, right, justify, or justify center the objects in the row. The padding options allow you to add space at the top and bottom margins of the widget, and the Insert Margin option in the Embedded Options Settings section lets you add horizontal and vertical spacing between each object in the responsive row. You can add a background to a responsive row widget. Select the responsive row and then go to the Shape Options button. Use the Fill option of your choice. All fill options are responsive. For example, to change the background color, select Color Fill. To add a background image, use Image Fill. It's recommended when using an image to select the Scale to Fill option and a large image to make sure that it acts responsively and doesn't get distorted as the browser window is resized. You can also add margins to the responsive row by changing the left and right margin values in the Metrics Inspector. To move a responsive row widget, click and drag the responsive row to its new location. To delete a responsive row, select the responsive row and press backspace to delete the widget. Remember that when you delete the widget, all the objects embedded in it will also be deleted. If you delete a responsive row by mistake, use Command+Z to undo the action.